It's a great day here in Orem, Utah. This is Michael Leavitt, and today we're going to talk about, well, it should be umpiring related, I think, today. But this one comes from Sean Norman. Did any of you know Sean Norman? Man, that guy, I just looked up on the map. He lives in a place called Newfield, New York. You got to type this into Google Maps. Not even a city comes up. And when you think of New York, you think of New York City. No. This is way up by Ithaca and by Syracuse and by Rochester, but way up in a forest. I mean, the forest is what, wow, the Newfield State Forest. I tell you what, I had to stalk him on Facebook and see about him. Yeah, he umpires softball. Looks to me like he does basketball as well. And boy, oh boy, there's a little granddaughter that he absolutely loves because she is in all of these pictures. And I wouldn't put her down either. I'd take her to Disneyland, Disney World all the time. That'd be awesome. But Sean, he was reading one of the, or watching one of the videos, and he posted back. He said, look, he said, there will always be gray areas, talking about the rule book. As much as the rule book tries to cover everything, it can't. And then he says, more importantly, you got to tell us about this wall. And he's looking at the wall behind me in this backdrop. And trust me, this is not just one of those green screen pictures that you snap behind real easy behind yourself as you try and videotape yourself. But I asked him to, hey, take a look at the wall. Everything's got some kind of symbolism, most of it officiating related, but some of it not. I said, ask me about anything up there and I'll go ahead and take the time to explain it. So what do you think he points to? Let me see if I can get, let me get the right finger. Right there. Take a look at that. Look at that. You see that? You know, I promised him that if he would pick something out, and he says, Michael Leavitt, if that's a chest protector with Frankenstein on it, it is that one. He wants to know about that chest protector. So I'll explain a little bit. So here we go. I've taken it off of the wall. Take a look at this thing. That is a Frankenstein if you've ever seen one. My oh my. I think that if you you got it. If you're going to do it, you got to do it right, right? Look at that. Ooh, it lights up with green lights. You see that? Ooh, look at all that. Man, oh man. That's pretty cool. But I tell you what, this is an actual authentic, very old school chest protector that as you see, I patched it up on top. It's got the old faded coloring. You'll look behind it and everything was torn and all opened up, and to find this I had to go on eBay, and I was searching and I was looking for brand new ones. I had a special thing in mind that I wanted to do with it, and I found this one, and it was listed by some woman back in Chicago, if I recall right. And I made the offer on it, and I think shipping was more than she was actually getting for the chest protector. I think the whole thing, it may have ran me $20. And but I sent her a message. I said, hey, I said, tell me a little bit about that chest protector. And she said that it was her husband's, who had now passed on, and when she saw it, she just was sad because she knew how many thousands of hours, thousands of games he'd done, and he had worn this chest protector out officiating baseball games, not softball, but baseball. And I told her, I said, look, I said, I have a special purpose for this chest protector, and if you agree to sell it to me, I will take good use of it. I'll take care of it. I'll use it, and I'll send you some pictures. And Sean obviously doesn't know. Sean's from New York. He's not from Utah, but anytime I walk onto the ball field in Utah, it's not uncommon for people to go, hey, Frankenstein, hey, Frank, and why? I've earned a little distinction, and most of you don't know, but if you go take a look at the website, FrankensteinUmpire.com, you'll see that come October every year, maybe not this year because of this stupid COVID-19 thing, but every weekend in October I'm booked up at a different tournament, dressed up in full umpire Frankenstein outfit. And if you look closer on the wall, and I think you have to look up in here, you'll see that there is a neckband with bolts that come out of my neck. You'll see some, right there, a wristband with a chain dangling off of it. Pretty cool. Let's see if I move my head out of the way. Hey, up there, wait, right there. I have custom ball bags with a Frankenstein logo on it. I have a jacket, black, Major League Baseball looking jacket with, sure enough, Frankenstein on it. It's cut up, it lights up green. I've got pants that are cut out, and it's the real deal. And in fact, it takes a whole lot more to get dressed up as Frankenstein than it does just being a normal umpire. But I tell you what, whether I'm on the bases or whether I'm on the field, it is an awesome time. And so this, I wanted to spotlight on my wall, kind of, because it's pretty cool. Not everybody gets to put a Frankenstein chest protector up on their wall. Now, my question to you is, since you asked Sean, have you ever officiated a baseball or a softball game with a chest protector? Like this, an outside balloon chest protector. Most of the umpires I've worked with have never ever used one, and they think, oh, you know, that'd be awesome. And yes, there are some 10U games where I tell you where they don't have a catcher. They have a girl back there that we call a retriever, because every time the pitch comes through, she has to go to the backstop and retrieve the thing. The balloon is actually the safest thing out there, and it should be part of our optional, maybe, well, sometimes required equipment as umpires even today. But when you use a balloon, one arm is taken out. Your left arm, it goes through the harness and it holds the chest protector. And you know, normally, what do you have in your left hand? Normally you have an indicator. Well, okay, so now you've got an indicator there too. So you have an indicator, you have the balloon, and then you have your right hand free so that you can, you know, give your hammer, and you can, point if you need to, and you can hold the ball, and you can do all of that. But what happens when it comes to a foul ball? Think about that. You got a balloon, and you got to go, with a big balloon in your hand. Not easy to do, let me tell you. What happens when they say, hey, what's the count, Blue? And you try and hold up your left hand for your balls, and you hold up your right hand for your strikes, but nobody can see your left hand because it's still engaged in a chest protector. And the first few times I used it, I was so frustrated. And I'd only use it for an inning or two each game, just enough for show. And still, I remember the very first time, I go through 2 innings, and then the 3rd inning is about to start, and I set up behind the catcher, and I have no balloon. I've hung it over on the fence. And right before the first pitch, somebody comes screaming out of the dugout, no! And a poor player thought that I had forgotten my chest protector, and I was going to be behind there and might get hurt. But she didn't realize I had a full chest protector in underneath my cheetah leopard skin shirt, underneath my black Major League Baseball type jacket, and pretty cool. But point being here, using the chest protector is such a pain. So I get done with this game, and I went and found an old timer, and I talked to him. And an old guy doesn't officiate anymore, but he used to back in the day when the balloon was a viable option and used quite a bit. And I said, all right, throw me a bone, help me out here. And sure enough, he said, we don't use 2-hand count with a balloon. You just use your right hand, and you signal 1 ball, 2 strikes. And I thought, duh, why didn't I think of that? So now when you see me out there and I'm getting down and getting set and have to let them know what the count is, it's very simple. You hold the chest protector into place, 1 ball, and you deliberately delay 2 strikes, and then you go for it. But talk about a change in the game. So this balloon protector gets used in dozens of games each year. I held true to my promise to the widow back in Chicago, and I know her husband probably looks down, and he probably thinks me dressed up as a Frankenstein is probably the most egregious offensive, horrible. The biggest travesty of the game on the field is when I walk out there as the electric Frankenstein, all lit up in green lights and ready to go. And here's the secret nobody knows, is that every time I walk out there as Frankenstein, I have to work half again as hard on everything, every play, every position, every movement. People know that I do a good job as an official, but when you're in costume, boy oh boy, it is that much harder. The credibility factor, how hard are you working, your ethic, your positioning, and you can't give them even one little smidgen to come after you. No blood in the water whatsoever, because if you're dressed up in costume and they smell blood and you didn't get into position because your costume, because whatever weak excuse you've got, they're going to tear into your backside. So Frankenstein is more effort to get ready. It's more effort to didn't even talk about the makeup, but that's a whole nother story. We'll go into that another time. But just to tell you, I have to work that much harder to be a good official when I'm dressed up as Frankenstein. But Sean, this one goes out to you. I'm glad that you had the courage to ask, to inquire, and I hope we get back on the ball field soon. And I hope especially by October we're still doing tournaments and that Frankenstein can come out and enjoy the game once again. Hey, make it a great game. Michael Leavitt here in Orem, Utah. We'll see you. Bye-bye.